Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here. Hearthstone Miniset Throne of the Tides reveal season is underway, and here are all the Warlock cards that are coming in the miniset, and oh boy, Warlock is getting some pretty spicy stuff, including a card that is actually going to make Curse Warlock beat control decks. Yeah, well, Curse Warlock I was laughing about Curse Warlock, hey, it has a serious weakness, it just can't be a serious deck. Well, Blizzard decided that we are going to force Curse Warlock on you. Whether you like it or not, we're going to make it happen. And yeah, Immolate, 4 mana. Light every card in the opponent's hand on fire. In 3 turns, any still in hand are destroyed. So you can't keep a full hand. So you can't prevent the curses. Wow. Also as an anti-combo tool. Wow. That's a pretty serious, of course, if you're playing against aggro deck, if you're playing against something mid-range, something that just plays their cards all the time and deals damage to you, then Immolate is a completely dead card. But when you're playing against something slower, oh boy, Curse Warlock can farm some slow decks in the future. So if Curse Warlock can figure out a way to survive against aggressive decks, then with Immolate they can just farm slower decks. It's starting to look pretty scary. And well, no, Warlock also got some other cards. There's Herald of Shadows, 3 mana 4/2 Naga, Battlecry. If you cast a Shadow spell while holding this, steal 2 health from a minion. Well, the problem here is that all Warlock Shadow spells, there are no tempo spells really. The Warlock Shadow spells are defensive spells, they're being used in control decks, so you would want to use this in a control deck. And then that 2 damage just isn't that much, that's not great removal. On the other hand, it does steal 2 health from a minion, so it goes through Divine Shields. So let's say a Paladin has played a Mooncatcher, and it's a 4/2 with Divine Shield, and you counter it with this, it steals 2 health, while the Mooncatcher has 0 health. It still has Divine Shield, but that does not prevent you from dying if you have no health. So there are some upsides to this. And the current, for example, Curse Warlock decks run so many Shadow spells that this is probably a viable removal piece for them. I think it can be used. And then, finally, the legendary Commander Ultok, 5 mana 7/7. Battlecry, your opponent's cards cost health instead of mana next turn. And I've really been trying to figure out how to use this, like, do you put this in some kind of aggressive deck, and you play this when the opponent is at very low health, and then they can't do anything, because doing anything just hurts them more, and they still have to remove 7/7, possibly, but does it really go well with Murlocs? I don't really know about that. Then what about using this in some kind of a combo deck? Can you do some kind of combo, for example, with the Abyssal Curses? That then the opponent can't handle that. You would have to do that with the Mithril Rod, so that you would get some discounts. Mithril Rod, Ultok, Bran, some curses going on. That's possible, but do you even need that anymore? Because you can already do Immolate. So you already have a way to fill the hand with curses anyway. And then the only question is, okay, what if some kind of armor warrior is really common? They have like 60-70 health, and then you can't deal that much damage with curses. But can you do that with Ultok? But then again, well, if the warrior has so much health, then does it matter that they will have to spend their health? Yeah, I haven't really figured out. Like, Ultok looks like it's a card that just, there has to be a use for it, but I just haven't been able to figure it out yet. Anyway, about that Immolate and the cards being burned in your hand, we actually got some clarifications from Gallon over Twitter. A couple of interesting clarifications actually. First, Sir Finley. So Sir Finley, you change your hand with the bottom of your deck, okay. Sir Finley is a backwards Stone Transition. The Immolate effect is lost when you Finley cards back into your deck, so they won't be destroyed in any circumstance. Alright. So you can have that card. You kind of, if Curse Warlock becomes common with Immolate, then all contra and combo decks will have to have Sir Finley, just so that they can try to counter Immolate. It's strange. Then another one about tradable cards. Tradable cards will go back in the deck with the enchantment. If you draw it before the end of 3 turns and it's in your hand when the timer expires, it will be destroyed. If it's still in the deck, it won't be destroyed. So tradable cards can be rescued at the expense of some mana, and Finley can save you from all of Immolation, but yeah, that's pretty brutal card to be playing against control decks. The real question is just, can Curse Warlock survive? Right now Curse Warlock is doing a pretty good job of surviving, and it has serious trouble against control decks, so yeah, Curse Warlock is looking really scary. And I also went into the deck builder to toy around with the list a little bit, and this is what I came up with. So there's tons of shadow spells, Mortal Coil, Touch of Natrusim, Drained Soul, all the curse spells. Lots of shadow spells here, so then you can also use Herald of Shadows. Herald of Shadows has a pretty early removal piece. Also, if you can combine one of those early shadow spells with Herald, then that means you have already removed something. Herald removes something else, gets you a 4/4 body. You're just able to fight so much better for that board. Then obviously you will have that Immolate, which is going to be a dead card in some matchups, but on the other hand, it's going to allow you to win some of the most troublesome matchups you have. So yeah, this is a deck that I'm really, really scared of when the miniset comes. So also for Warlock, the new miniset cards look really playable, and yeah, that was Warlock. I only had this one deck for that one, and I'll be back with more classes soon. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the content, please click the like button, subscribe to my channel, and check out my Twitch channel.